My name's Detective Roy, and this is Detective Johnson. We're here about the robbery.
That was fast.
Things are always moving fast when you're fighting crime.
Right. Well, normally we wouldn't make a fuss over such a simple magazine.
By simple magazine, do you mean the mint condition vintage Playboy edition worth over $200?
You'll have to excuse my partner. I think this case hits a little close to home for him. You were saying?
Actually, it's worth over $1,000 now. It's not part of our regular stock. It's meant to be sold at a fundraising auction in a few days. People have been coming in all week, bidding like crazy.
I see. Were there any witnesses to the robbery?
I'm not sure, but those folks over there were here when it happened.
Excellent. Why don't you go ask around and bring them to me for questioning?
Who do you want to start with?
Surprise me. So, you said your name was Mary Beth Pendleton?
One and only.
And you're how old?
17. 18 in 2 months.
So, Miss Pendleton, tell me about the situation.
Oh, it's a situation, all right. He's tall, but not too tall. Just the right amount of tall. And his eyes, they're this dreamy green color.
The robber?
No. Chad.
Who's Chad?
Only the most beautiful boy I have ever laid eyes on. I saw him for the first time about a week ago when I was returning a movie. Clueless, I think.
Okay, but...
Wait, no. Princess Diaries. I was returning Princess Diaries, probably looking like a complete bimbo, when there he was, the most beautiful boy I have ever seen. And I don't go to the library that often. Reading's not really my thing, but now I go like every day.
Miss Pendleton, is there anything
And today I was feeling a bit risky. See, he still hasn't come up to talk to me yet, which is fine. Totally fine. And I Googled that cinder block of a book he was reading. I was just about to go and chat him up about it when...
What?
When a certain someone stole the magazine.
And who might that certain someone be?
You know, for a detective, I thought you'd be a little more discreet.
Miss Pendleton, now is really not the time to be playing games.
Don't worry. I won't tell anyone.
Tell anyone what?
That it was you.
Excuse me?
Look, all I know is that I saw your police cruiser out front before the library assistant even dialed 911.
I was in the area.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you listen here. This is just beyond the pale.
Deep breaths. There is no need to be embarrassed. Everyone has needs. Look, if you ever need a helping hand...
This conversation is completely inappropriate. I am a professional, here to investigate a crime.
Ah, there you are. Roy, Miss Pendleton's parents are here to pick her up. Are you about finished?
I believe we are, Detective.
Oh, and Roy, where did you say you put the coffees?
What copies?
The ones you stopped to get on the way? Isn't that why you wanted to drive separately?
Right, yes. Should be around somewhere.
Around somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And you're a detective, aren't you? I'm sure you can figure it out.
Someone's grumpy today. Oh, and Mrs. Brooks is coming in next.
Carol Brooks?
Yep. Anyways, I'm gonna go look for the coffees.
Thank you.
Oh, it's you.
Good morning, Mrs. Brooks.
It's Mrs. Brooks now? That's not what it was last night.
Mrs. Brooks, this is serious.
Where did you go this morning?
I thought I was the one asking questions. Where were you around 9:30?
Well, after a certain someone left without saying goodbye, I was feeling a little low. So I decided to get some exercise.
At a library?
Not that kind of exercise. Something a little more skin to skin.
At a library?
Well, it's easier for Chad because...
Wait, Chad? You don't mean the kid?
Yes, Chad. He's sweet and funny and handsome and...
A child?
He's 19, okay? Not a minor.
Carol,
Oh, it's Carol now.
why don't we put aside our personal issues for the moment, okay?
Oh, sure. Yeah, let's do that. This is so typical. Every time I try to talk about us, you shut me down. Every time.
Look, this is an investigation.
You don't buy me chocolates or flowers anymore or anything.
I've been saving up.
For what?
It doesn't concern you.
God, honestly, it's not a surprise you're alone at your age.
Mrs. Brooks, were you or were you not at the library around 9:30 this morning?
Yes, Roy. Yes, I was. But I was in the bathroom. That's where Chad and I were meeting up. But then there was some sort of commotion outside.
So, what did you see?
Chad with that hussy, Mary Beth. I think Chad dropped the book he's always pretending to read.
You're right. He does sound sweet.
At least he doesn't up and leave without... Wait a minute. Isn't the police station like 25 minutes from here?
And?
And you got here in 5. Detective, where were you at 9:30 this morning?
Mrs. Brooks,
I know! You're hiding something from me!
I have not.
What? I don't do it for you anymore? You had to go to the public library and steal some porny magazine? Wow! Just wow.
Carol, I am an officer of the law.
Yeah, wave your plastic badge in my face.
Not plastic.
This is so unbelievable. I'm done with men. Fucking disgusting.
Mrs. Brooks, I think we're all done here. You can leave.
Gladly.
Hey Roy, how are the interviews going? Right, well, apparently the Playboy is kept in a glass case behind the desk. Only person who has the keys to it is the librarian, who's coming in right now. Also, I still can't find those coffees. Any chance you left them in your car? I could check.
I don't care about the coffees, Johnson. They're a frivolous, unnecessary expense.
But you said...
Drop it!
Okay, well, here's Mrs. Perkins now.
Thanks, Johnson. That'll be all. Good morning, Mrs. Perkins. Please, sit down.
Hello, dearie.
You are the librarian, correct?
That's right, dear.
Let's get right into it. Mrs. Perkins, did you happen to see anything this morning around 9:30?
Oh, you poor boy. Your aura is so clouded. It's almost black.
If we could please focus.
Oh, yes, it's so clouded indeed. And I'm sensing something
Mrs. Perkins,
different,
please,
something.
I just
feel-
have a couple of questions. Where were you around 9:30 this morning?
I was here. My grandson Chad drives me in. I'm getting too old to drive anymore. I keep losing my keys and I
Wait,
can't
I'm
find...
sorry. Did you say Chad? Is your
My grandson, that's right. He's such a sweetie. Always loves spending time here with me.
Unbelievable.
He's a sweet one, that boy. Not like other boys.
Uh-huh. Do you know where Chad was at 9:30?
Oh, I'm so sorry. It's your aura. It's so heavy. And oh, and I'm sensing something. Oh,
Mrs.
yes,
Perkins,
something.
Mrs. Perkins, please remove your hands now. Mrs. Perkins.
Oh, yes, I feel something different. Something foreign. It's you!
For the last time, I am
Who
not...
sent you?
What?
Don't you think I don't know about you guys? Always spying on us for your alien research? Well, not in my library. Absolutely
Miss Perkins,
not
Mrs. Perkins,
in my
please
library.
stop.
Get out.
Good God,
Get
what
out.
is in that bag? That is it. I've had it. For weeks, I've been saving up for this stupid auction and this stupid magazine. All I wanted was one thing for myself. But oh no, someone up and steals it right under my nose, and I'm left to deal with you blockheads. There you go. You're all idiots. Investigation over, case closed. Goodbye.
Did it work?
Like a charm. Seems like he was ready to blow from the start. Well done, ladies.
I'll be honest, I had my doubts about this whole thing, but wow.
Never underestimate the idiocy of a man. Speaking of, what were you thinking hiding a porn magazine in one of the finest works of literature of all time? Tolstoy is rolling in his grave. Aliens.
I'm a dance machine.